Robertson.
Well, that comes from the Minister of Transport, who's come up with one good idea, and that's the changes to the give-way rules, which now mean we give way to the left. That's what happens. So Jerry Brownlee has finally come up with a good idea to give way to the left on this side of the House. Mr. Speaker, we need to be absolutely clear about what happened in Parliament today. We heard from the Prime Minister that if somebody writes a letter on ministerial letterhead asking for an intervention to improve to give someone a comparative assessment of their health about their capacity to work on ACC letterhead, that is just an error of judgment and it's not sufficient to breach the Cabinet manual. That is what we heard from the Prime Minister today. The Cabinet manual may as well go in the recycling bin all around Wellington, because this Prime Minister has decided it does not matter. It does not count. It matters more than that. You're right, Ms Dalziel, it matters because it's what holds ministers to account. New Zealanders deserve to know.
Point of order, the Honourable Jerry Brumley.
I seek leave to table a series of quotes by Helen Clark on the Cabinet manual.
Order the source of this document.
Mr. Speaker, the source of this document is numerous quotes by the Right Honourable Helen Clark about how the Cabinet manual is just a guide.
Order. This is the member knows that he has interrupted a member's speech gratuitously, and that is not on. The Leader of the House should know that. Grant Robertson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Very sensitive on the other side of the House today, Mr. Brownlee, because what we heard from John Key today is that writing a letter on ministerial letterhead to intervene in an individual ACC case does not meet Mr. Key's threshold of what is unacceptable for a minister's behaviour. The Cabinet manual could not be clearer, Mr. Brownlee. The Cabinet manual says a minister should be very careful not to use information they access in the course of their official activities in a way that might provide some special benefit to family members, whānau or close associates. Bronwyn Puller was a close associate of this minister. We all know that. And now we have the situation where we have ministerial standards reaching an all-time low under this government. And this came from a minister, a Prime Minister, who said he was going to increase standards. He says, I will take the action necessary if ministers don't meet their standards. Mr. Key has failed that test today. Mr. Key has said that the Cabinet manual, the document that upholds constitutional accountability in our country, is worthless to him. It is worthless to him. And Mr. Speaker, this is just a continuation from this government. The actions of Dr. Smith, the way John Key has responded, of this government's new slogan, crony capitalism. That's what we see from this government. At every step of the way, it's about cronyism. Stephen Joyce, Sky City. Let's make sure Sky City can have some more pokie machines through a deal by Stephen Joyce. Stephen McElrea on the board of New Zealand On Air. Stephen McElrea, the Prime Minister's chair of his electorate committee, on the board. We still haven't heard from the Prime Minister. What role did he play in that appointment? What did he know about that appointment? Cronyism, Mr. Speaker. Cronyism from beginning to end with this government. And Mr. Speaker, we just saw it the other day. Now, I don't mind Dr. Wayne Matt. He's a cheery old fellow, but he's been appointed to the Law Commission without any proper process from this government. Once again, sometimes Mr. Mallard thinks he taught at a polytechnic, but that's not fair. He's a good person, Wayne Matt, but he didn't deserve to be put in the situation whereby he was appointed to the Law Commission with absolutely no process whatsoever, Mr. Speaker. We know right from the top in this government that cronyism is alive and well, and we saw it most rightly in the Media Works debacle. $43 million loan going to the company that Stephen Joyce has long had links with. And then, lo and behold, that very company hosts the Prime Minister's Hour, where cronyism was alive and well, where the Prime Minister's office were involved in writing communications for Radio Live so that they could cover up their involvement in it. This is cronyism, Mr. Speaker. Dr. Nick Smith's example is only one small part of a ministry that has gone beyond the standards that even we thought they would stoop to. What was that, Dr. Coleman? And this is Dr. Coleman, of course, knows all about this. His standards have been high right from the beginning, right from the Mount Albert by-election on. He's now into this cabinet that has reached a new low in standards of behaviour. We have a cabinet manual that is created to protect New Zealanders' interests so that they know that conflicts of interest will be managed. And today in this House, the Prime Minister has said that that cabinet manual means absolutely nothing. He has lowered the standards of behaviour of ministers, not increased them. And from the beginning to the end of this administration, Mr Speaker, we have seen cronyism. This government is a total shambles.
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr Speaker, I want to contrast the